ladies, and welcome to my first vlog of Star Wars Celebration. This is the first con ever I attended outside my country. This was a great day, a great first day to celebrate the greatest saga ever told. As soon as you get in, you feel such a different energy because right then and there, you know that all those people around you love the same thing you do. From all the booths and all the expositions on there. The Rogue One exposition is amazing. I'm showing it to you right now. You can pause the video as you look at the plaques to read the description of the characters. The costumes are incredible. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about Rogue One in a few seconds. Now I'm going to show you the stuff I bought on this first day of Star Wars Celebration. And first, let's go to the big item, and that is the Kylo Ren mask. The official Black Series Kylo Ren mask with a voice changer. I still have to get home to get my batteries on this, but I had a Kylo Ren mask before, as you've probably seen from many photos I posted on my Facebook page as me dressed up as Kylo Ren, but that was the one from the Disney store. You have the front part of the mask, but then you have only the fabric around it. But this one is the full mask. I'm going to get a new fabric around it to have my cosplay ready for Portugal Comic Con in December. But right now, I hope you can still hear me clearly, but here it is, full on Kylo Ren mask. I love this. I ordered this before, but Forbidden Planet wouldn't ship it. So I went to Forbidden Planet booth in Star Wars Celebration and I bought this baby. It may surprise you, it may not, that they have more than Star Wars stuff for sale. There's an entire booth where you have Batman and Marvel and things for comics and nothing about Star Wars. And there's other stuff where you have things that are not Star Wars, such as Boku no Hero Academia Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4. Those are all the volumes that are out at this moment. I had to get them. This is one of my favorite mangas ever, and I love the past season of the anime. It was awesome. The very, very special thing that I bought today in Star Wars Celebration, and those are the exclusives. And so we have Han Solo with a medal. We also have Luke without a hand. We also have Luke with a medal. And we have 4-LOM, and I actually have 2 of those because I'm bringing this over to a friend of mine in Portugal. I hope he's watching this video. This one's for you, buddy. You got it. It's safe with me. And this is not an exclusive, but I had to get it because I need this Funko Pop in my life. And that is Slave Leia. I saw her. I had to get her. There's the Hoth Han Solo pop figure around those booths, but I saw very different prices, so I'm going to check it again tomorrow, and I won't let him pass on to Sunday before I buy it. But now what you want to hear me talk about, the Rogue One panel. It was incredible. The energy, the atmosphere around it. When they announced Gwendoline Christie to present and host the panel, wow! The crowd erupted, absolutely erupted, and it was a great panel. And then Gwendoline Christie presents Felicity Jones with her first action figure, the first figure to be revealed for the Rogue One line. And then funny stories from the actors on set. Alan Tudyk went swimming naked with some animals. And then ironically, Mads Mikkelsen was the guy that spoke the least, because he has spoken too much by this point, and we all know that. And then you have this one scene where all the main cast comes out except for Ben Mendelsohn, and when Gwendoline Christie tells him to come out, he comes out in costume surrounded by Death Troopers. That was incredible. The crowd was madding, loving this guy. He went in, he went up to the stage, he went out. Gwendoline Christie interviewed the main characters of the movie, and then after a featurette, which you've probably seen on the internet by now, came out Ben Mendelsohn dressed normally, let's call it. And you have this little kind of weird flirt between the two, which was really funny, but came out of nowhere, honestly, to me. The panel was really great. I love that Gwendoline Christie opened this up before presenting any member of the cast with a tribute to the people in Nice, France, about the terrorist attack a few days ago in Bastille Day. But you don't want to hear me talk about the panel anymore. You want to see what I saw, you want to hear what I heard, and I'm going to give you the full panel, or at least what I got from it, because we couldn't show you anything more. After the panel, Kathleen Kennedy came out and she showed the featurette again, and then she came out again and she told us, this one is just for you. And then and this is a quick new trailer review for Rogue One. Don't worry, there are no spoilers. Although if you want to avoid watching any other trailers, I would tell you to avoid this part of the video and jump up to this section of the video, which there will be a time for in this lower part of the video. But the Rogue One new trailer is really dark, it's really heavy, seems really desperate for Jyn Erso. She's running around, you see her as a kid, she's running away from some ships and from enemies, and then you see quick glimpses of all our characters, quick glimpses of all our villains, and then finally you have a shot of the floor of the Death Star, which is really chromy and reflective, and then you start seeing a red light, and then what forms on the reflection but a very well-known helmet, and then we hear the breathing, and Darth Vader completely explode with the crowd. I've been saying that the crowd exploded quite a few times, but trust me, the crowd was madder than ever when they heard the breathing. Right after that, Gareth Edwards had told us that we were going to get a free poster for Rogue One. That's right, the new poster that was just revealed a few hours ago. And here it is, my copy of the poster for Rogue One. And I love this poster. I don't know about you guys, I'm sorry for the reflection on the camera, but I love this poster, can't wait to hang it up on my wall, and I can't wait for this movie because this panel was incredible. Granted, it was the first panel I ever saw. It was this first big panel. This is my first Star Wars celebration. This is my first con outside my country. It was really special. I loved it. I can't wait for tomorrow to go onto the Rebels panel, and of course there will be a video for you guys. But right now, I will leave you, my geekies, with the Star Wars Rogue One panel. Cheers.
And I get to be here, not just a fan, but on this stage for the first time while we introduce Rogue One, which is the first Star Wars standalone story. Now, I'd like to just take a moment. It's impossible for us to sit here today at Celebration, particularly at an event called Celebration, without thinking about the terrible events that have happened not far from here. On behalf of everyone, our hearts go out to the people in Nice and in France, and a moment to send our heartfelt thoughts and prayers. Celebration last year, Kathy Kennedy and Gareth Edwards, they teased us with a little sneak peek of what was coming up in Rogue One. And we learned that the standalone film would be based on the line of the opening crawl of Episode 4, A New Hope. Now we're going to delve deeper, get a little bit of a personal look at the behind the scenes, and we've got some special guests.
Woo!
Introducing President and President of Lucasfilm, it's Kathy Kennedy.
Woo!
So we're here in Celebration in London this year. It's very exciting. How come London?
You know, the amazing thing is, first of all, I want to say we could not be more thrilled not only to be here today, but to be celebrating 40 years since A New Hope was made in London. I want to take just a minute because out in this audience are our fellow producers, Allison Shermer, John Schwartz, Simon Manuel. I just want to give them a shout out. I want to give the Disney executives that have flown in from Los Angeles a big shout out. Alan Horn, Alan Bergman. We have Lucasfilm people here. We have crew from Episode 8 as well as Rogue One. So it is a genuine Star Wars celebration.
And Kathy. So Kathy, what is a Star Wars story?
A Star Wars story, you know, the thing is we have this amazing opportunity to be able to tell stories inside this incredible universe. And in the past, all the Star Wars movies have been made as either sequels, prequels, and now we can have these standalone movies that can explore different characters, different places, different planets, different experiences all the way around. And I think that that's something that all of us are extremely excited about.
And why Gareth Edwards? I know it's a bit embarrassing because he's sitting here, but why did you choose him to direct this film?
Why Gareth Edwards? No, seriously, it's funny, when the cameras were swinging around, I saw our DP, Greg. Where are you? Right there. And Greg and Gareth were actually amazing to watch because Gareth made this decision based on a style that he uses with the movies he makes, where he puts the camera on his shoulder for just about every shot. And that really sort of gave us the sense of what the style of the movie might be, and more importantly, it's a style that is unlike any other Star Wars movie. And the whole time we were making the movie, I would often walk onto the set and be like, where's Gareth? And then I'd see him huge camera on his shoulder, off in the middle of the shot, doing another angle, finding some incredible way to immerse us inside the movie. And I think that's what is so amazing about his style, is this is going to be an incredibly immersive experience when you see Rogue One.
It seems like it really enhances our experience of the world. And Gareth, please, can you tell me about your personal connection to Star Wars and what it means to you, obviously not just professionally, but personally, to be a fan and direct this film?
I mean, I think I'm probably a lot like everybody in this audience in that I watched A New Hope every day growing up until that Betamax tape was completely worn out. And if you told me that one day I'd get to direct this film, I'd never believed you. Like, I sort of think in some parallel world I'm out there watching me on stage, very jealous, saying, shut up you idiot, I should be doing that. And it's just been the most insane, most surreal experience you could ever have. Every day, just when you think you've had the craziest day in your life, the next day tops it.
Was there a particularly memorable day for you?
There's a million. I guess on one occasion we were filming, I was with Felicity, and we were in the middle of a shot, and someone just nudged me and said, pointed at this guy in the corner and said, do you want to meet Luke Skywalker? And I looked over and there was Mark Hamill. And I went over to him and he was wearing a Godzilla t-shirt, which is the film I made before. And I was like, you know when you go up to someone and you're so much in awe of them, I don't know what I said to him. I was trying to be articulate and intelligent, and I don't know what came out. And he was being really sweet and complimentary. And all I was thinking as he was talking to me, I was just looking at my peripheral vision going, please, Lord, someone be taking a photograph of this. No one's going to believe that I met Luke Skywalker. And the problem with this film is you can't talk about it. You can't tell your friends, you can't tell your family anything. And all I wanted to do was go home and go, I met Luke Skywalker. And everyone's like, how was work? You're like, yeah, it's alright.
Yeah, fine. Internally, met Luke Skywalker. How was your day? Nice supermarket, right? Yeah, fine. John, you are the Chief Creative Officer at ILM. I want to talk to you about the origin of the concept for Rogue One, because you actually came up with this years ago while you were working on another project. Can you please tell us more about what inspired this idea and your creative involvement with the film both then and now?
Yeah, actually, this started about 13 years ago when we were shooting episode 3 in Sydney, and I heard that George and Rick were developing this live-action TV series, and I got thinking about what sort of fun stories you might be able to tell in that episodic format, and I started playing around with this idea, drawn from the opening crawl of 4 of sort of Mission Impossible style spy mission to steal the Death Star plans. And so I started tinkering around with what the plot structure of something like that might be. And then a day or two later, I was chatting with Rick, and I asked him about the show, and he told me sort of what the era and general subject matter was, and I realized, well, that this idea has no place in that concept. So I dropped it, and it wasn't until later when the new slate of films was announced a few years back. Then beyond the saga films, we were also doing these standalone stories. And I was thinking, that original idea could make a pretty good standalone film. And I was chatting just informally with friends at work, and we'd be talking about this slate of films. And I'd give them the informal pitch. Well, how about this? How about Imagine? And I got such enthusiastic responses when I would describe this that I couldn't help but continue to make it a little more elaborate and kind of think through some of the character arcs of who these people are and how this might end. And finally, I made this sort of informal pitch to a friend of mine who said, "Oh my God, you need to make an appointment right now with Kathy and Carrie, and you need to pitch this." And I realized, well, actually he's right, because if I don't, I'll always wonder what would have happened if I had.
Wow. Wow, from those really early dreams, it's amazing what can happen, isn't it?
It's kind of surreal to be here doing it.
Yeah, tell me about it. So, you've got some early concept art with you, is that correct?
Yeah, I think we have one bit of art to show. This is the very first bit of art that was done for Rogue One. This is sort of going back to one of the initial core ideas of this being, I've always loved these films where you have a small group of extraordinary people with complementary skills that come together to do something amazing that you see in commando films, things like Guns of Navarone, caper films like Ocean's 11, things like that, the original Mission Impossible TV show. And so this was our original group here.
And Kiri, in developing the story, how do you balance the old and the familiar within you?
I think this particular movie is a perfect bridge into these new types of movies that we want to do, because it is it's grounded in this piece of Star Wars history that everyone knows happened. And every Star Wars fan knows that the Death Star plans were stolen. And really, this is just our opportunity to expand on, as John did, that one piece of information to really build out a completely new story, new characters, but yet it's happening in a familiar moment in time on the Star Wars timeline. And so I think it's a really great blend of old and new, and I think Gareth has done an amazing job of visualizing it in a way that feels really fresh. But there are story elements that will feel really connected and familiar to Star Wars fans. And it's an amazing combination.
And there's all sorts of new environments as well, aren't
Absolutely.
there? Gareth, please, can you tell us a bit about those?
Yeah, my favourite one probably, because it meant we got to go to the Maldives, is Planet.
Which was like a trick that you played on us.
Sometimes you got to take one. Sometimes you got to take one for the team over here. And it's a planet called Scarif. And we were going for realism throughout the film, so we tried to go to real locations. Just so happened it was set in this paradise world. We had to go to paradise to film it. It was a nightmare.
Stuff like that.
And it's funny because all the guys you see in this picture, this is the Maldivian army. And as we're filming it, we're thinking, oh, it's so cool, imagine being these guys, and they must be so exciting. And at the end, you go up to them, you say, so that was cool, right? You got to be stormtroopers. And they're like, what? You got to be stormtroopers, isn't it? Huh? And you go, you know Star Wars? No? You know Star Wars? You know stormtroopers? They're like, no. And you go, do you know what any of this is? They're like, no. Like, do you feel really stupid? And they're like, yes. So they're going to have a surprise when these billboards turn up in the Maldives.
It does look incredible, though, those stormtroopers wading through the most beautiful water. I think that's what I found so arresting. Feels like it's a new image for us.
A storm actually started coming in when we were filming this bit. And the problem is, it's like, if you use it, people think it's like bad VFX. It looks like we've cut things out and done things to it, and we haven't. That's exactly how it looks on the day.
So, have you brought anything else to show us today?
This is, okay, well, something that we can reveal for the first time right now is the new poster. As a gift to everybody here, you're going to get a free poster on your way out. And I promise Kathy Kennedy is going to sign every single one of them. So for the board, get you out the back. 4,000. Thanks, Karen.
Are you excited about your poster? Okay, now I would like to introduce some more special stars for you. I would like to present some of the cast of Rogue One. Introducing Diego Luna. Star Wars film is a good villain, a compelling, iconic villain. Star Wars fans, as Director Krennic, Ben Mendes.
Wait. There's something, a little surprise for people. Should we do it now?
Let's do it now.
Do it!
Okay, so this is a little sneak peek. See this up. I'm very proud of the way we approach this film. We tried to make it in a very different way, and hopefully it will come through in the clip you're about to see.
Just a small one. Should we have a wait? Yo, you want me to chat? Wow, how bored does everyone want to become? How's your weekend going? Since Saturday? I've got to say, this is gloriously surreal for me.
So I think we're going to continue chatting, and then when it's ready, we'll play it again.
Okay. I think it's great to make everyone wait. Just give them a little bit, take it away, back again. So there is some important business, particularly for Felicity Jones. Felicity, last year I had the incredibly surreal experience of being made into a Star Wars action figure. And today, I would like to welcome you to the club because
Goodness.
here is your Jyn Erso action figure.
To have joined the Star Wars doll universe.
This is actually the very first toy being revealed from Rogue One. It's not as good as mine, but it's great nonetheless.
I don't know, she's got a pretty cool Han Solo gun belt. Inspired by Han Solo.
So Felicity, from what I've heard about your character, she's been compared to incredible heroines like Joan of Arc, which of course I love. And fans also compare this new hero to their favourite Star Wars heroes as well. How is Jyn unique or different to other Star Wars characters?
I feel there's one major difference between Jyn Erso and other Star Wars heroes, Rey and Luke. And that main difference would be that Jyn, she's not a character who's asking, who am I and where have I come from? She very much, we know that about her. We know where she's come from. And that fact is what propels the story and is the beginning of Jyn's journey to find out what her reason is and her cause.
And she's had a very full life before we meet her, unlike other Star Wars heroes. Obviously,
Absolutely.
No hero can go it alone. Diego, can you please tell us a little bit about Cassian?
Definitely. Hi everyone. I've been waiting for this night for quite a long time. This is actually what got me into the project, the chance to share this energy. It's fantastic. So yes, I play Cassian Andor, Captain Cassian Andor, and he works for the Rebellion, for intelligence, and the team starts being just the two of them, Jane and Cassian, but as the story continues, the team grows. And like any team, there's frictions, there's issues, and it's Cassian who has to keep them together. And one of the most important members of this team is a droid, an Imperial droid that is reprogrammed by the Rebellion. And his name is K2SO. And he's probably the best friend Cassian has in the Rebellion, or the only one.
And I think that's the first time we're hearing that information. That is a Star Wars special for you.
Woo!
Yes!
I hope I was allowed.
You were totally right. It's fine. You're okay. You're okay. Of course, no Star Wars story could exist without a droid. And in Rogue One, we meet K2SO, played by Alan Tudyk.
Woo!
Alan, you are a man of many talents. You're an actor, you're a voiceover artist, and you've actually played a robot before as well. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's like being a droid in a Star Wars film?
It's pretty. There we go. Is it yours that's doing it? Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Here we go. Look at this. See there? That's him right there. We were in Jordan. This was great. That's what I look like. That's before the CGI, which is exciting. I'm 7'1" in black, which is really my inner person. There you kind of saw my suit on there from the back. Yeah, that's how I look. But look, she gives him her pack, and he doesn't. Really. That's K2. Like he doesn't, go get the bags, droid. No. I'd rather not. It's not my thing. Because Cassian reprogrammed him, and he did like a data wipe. And when he reprogrammed him, he's not quite all there. He speaks his mind and says things that, I don't know, can be unsettling and just very honest. If you know any old people, it's like that. It's whatever he thinks. And it was great. It was great to play him. There's amazing droids in the Star Wars universe. And C-3PO.
Did you get to meet him? Did you get to meet Anthony Daniels?
I met him at the party. There was a new. What was yours called?
My one was called The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. So good. You should check it out. Really good, guys. You guys should totally see that movie. It's way good. I met him at that party at the opening night, and I said, "I'm K2SO. I'm going to be the next droid in a series of droids, I guess." And he said, "Do you wear a suit, or are you CGI?" And I said, "Oh, I'm CGI." He said, "You shit." Lovely man. We're pen pals. Pen pals to this day. Yeah, because the first C-3PO, they screwed him into the suit, and anyway, he wears the suit, obviously. So.
And I heard a story about something about you in the Maldives. Possibly with an animal?
I tamed a lion. Is that the story? There were several. No.
No, you were on a boat. You were on a boat in the Maldives. I
We were all
believe
on
it featured
boats.
Diego and Felicity.
Yeah, but we didn't go naked to swim with weird animals.
I wasn't naked. That was in your mind. I didn't wear naked. I was wearing something. But yes, there was a
That's how you like to spend your time, isn't it?
in the water with the animals.
Swimming naked. With
Yeah,
wild
convening with
animals.
nature. Yeah, there was a whale shark, which, if you know what a whale shark is, it's great to be able to see one in your lifetime. To swim with one is even better. They look like they're huge. They're the biggest shark, and they have spots and they're gorgeous. And so I swam with her. I named her Karen. And again, a pen pal to this day.
Yeah. Good. Getting pen pals aplenty from the Star Wars universe.
Still like to do.
There was also something exciting that happened at a tube station, Gareth. Is this true?
Oh, yeah. Actually, my first job ever in television was just around the corner from where we are right now. And I used to pass it every day and go through the Docklands, the DLR, and all these train station things. This is like something from the future. It's like a sci-fi movie. If I ever get to do a sci-fi film in my life, I'm gonna film it here. And then I parked that thought, and then one day when we're trying to figure out how to do these really long shots that involve a lot of running and building big massive sets, and we're trying to be clever about it, I was like, oh, let's just film it at the Docklands. Looks futuristic. And everyone's like, ha, yeah, very funny. Anyway, how are we gonna really do this? And then eventually the art department got really imaginative, and we did this secret mission where we went to Canary Wharf one night, and no one was allowed to tell anyone because we didn't want anyone finding out. And so as soon as that thing closed at midnight, and you saw these guys with suits getting the last train and walking past, as soon as they'd gone, we all dived in. We had 4 hours. We had to set dress the whole thing, bring all the stuff in. They'd rehearsed it before, and we shot the scenes. And we shot all the scenes, then we had to be out there by 4 a.m. And we were like, yeah, we got the last one just in time. And as we left, everything had disappeared, and they opened the doors, all these guys in suits came in, and we were like, morning, morning. And you so desperately want to tell them as you walk past, morning, morning, morning. We just shot Star Wars! He was a stormtrooper.
And that's only 2 tube stops away from here.
I knew this might come up today, so I counted as 4.
Is it 4?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start the pilgrimage now. Back to our amazing cast, Riz. Woo! Woo! Your acting career has included roles in acclaimed indie films like Four Lions, Reluctant Fundamentalist, Nightcrawler, and the new HBO show, The Night Of. What attracted you to this film? Why a Star Wars movie?
I thought just like to kind of change it up, it'd be good to do a film that other people have seen apart from just that one guy that was shouting. Thank you for your custom. I mean, who doesn't want to do these films? I mean, they attract the best talent across the board, and also Alan. It's just an amazing world to be a part of, you know? So yeah, no, just really wanted to be a part of it. And obviously I've seen kind of Gareth's work and just found it super exciting. So.
And we know also that we have a reprogrammed Imperial droid, whereas I have noticed in photos of your character, Bodhi, he's wearing an Imperial patch. So what's going on there?
Yeah, well, I can talk about this, can't I? A little bit?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. You know, Bodhi is a pilot, and he works for the Empire, you know, to earn a living. And like, you know, people work at big organizations, they don't agree with everything they do.
Maybe
You don't have to get judgy.
Maybe questioning.
Yeah, exactly. He's kind of questioning things, and the planet that he is, the city that he is from, is actually an occupied planet, and it's the actions of the Empire and the stuff that he's forced to be involved with over there that kind of makes him question his career counselor.
And Bodhi's home is also where we meet Donnie and Jan's characters. Baze and Chirrut. Gareth, can you tell us about Jeddah?
Yeah. Jeddah's, I guess the easiest way to explain is obviously our film takes place in a time where there are allegedly no Jedi remaining, but people still believe in the Force, and they still have that spirituality. And essentially, Jeddah's like, I guess, like the Mecca of Star Wars, in that people go on pilgrimages, and the problem is right now is when the story begins it's an occupied territory by the Empire, and we get sucked into a story that involves these wonderful people to the side here.
And two of the most important characters we meet in Jeddah are Chirrut and Baze. They become crucial to the team and are played by Donnie Yen and Jiang Wen. Donnie, what can you tell us about Chirrut?
I just want to say hi, everybody. I'm Donnie. I play a blind warrior who lives in the planet Jeddah. I can't see, but I can feel with my heart and believe in the spiritual of the Force. And obviously, me and Jiang Wen, we are the baddest fighter from Jeddah. And me and Jan, his character Baze, we are very good friends. And that's about the story I'm about to tell, right? That's it. I can't say too much, right? It's not about the captain.
Yeah. Maybe it's time for Jiang to tell us about Baze.
He's right. He's totally right. Sorry, my English is very limited. I come from Beijing, and thank you. Thank you. What I say about this character, I have to say, Baze has a God. Am I wrong? He has a gun. He has a huge gun. He has a weapon. The weapons are very huge. Is that right? Is it English, right? Okay. So he and me was a partner, and he of course, believe in Force, but my character don't believe Force at that time. But I pretend all of them know them, just them, to do very, very big mission. I cannot say that. And when this guy dead, I do something better. Maybe I believe by my action. He's thinker, I'm doer. So
I think you've got to leave it there.
Anyway,
I think you've got to leave it there.
Anyway, I have a gun.
Yeah.
I have a gun. A weapon.
It's a huge gun.
Thank you.
Huge gun.
God is thanks. Sorry, my limited.
Forrest, we've learned a lot about your... We've learned a lot about your character's deeper connection in the Star Wars galaxy. How does does he connect to this band of misfits? I think we can definitely call them misfits.
Good to see you all. Simon Weber is a rebel fighter. He's been fighting for years against the imperial occupation. He's a guerrilla fighter. He has been controlling a group of rebels that are out to the extreme. We're talking about that there's a series of different rebel groups coming together as an alliance, and all of these people are different parts of that. I'm leading my group, which by any means necessary will do what he needs to do in order to save the world. He was trained as a guerrilla fighter, and then he was trained by the Jedi as well.
And Saul was originally revealed as an animated character, a character that originated with George Lucas.
Well, yeah. I mean, when Gareth introduced me to the character, I was amazed. I went back and started to look and see the series Clone Wars and really understand what was going on with that. That's how it's been released, and it's been integrated and working with Jen and everyone to make things move forward.
Thank you. Gareth, for you as a filmmaker and as a fan, what was it like for you bringing to life a character created by George Lucas? Did you meet George Lucas? Did he come on set, or?
Well, one Friday I got a phone call of John Schwartz, who's one of the producers on the film here. He calls me and goes, "Guess who's going to visit on Monday?" And I was like, "I don't know." He's like, "Have a guess." I just sarcastically went, "George Lucas?" He went, "Yeah." I'm like, "Shit." So I spent the whole weekend just crapping myself about it. And was very surprised because he is the nicest guy. He's got an amazing sense of humor. And we were showing him around all the stuff. And it's the honest, I challenge anyone to have a more surreal experience than showing a Star Wars film to George Lucas for the first time. It was right up there. And he'd start criticizing stuff. And you'd get really nervous and oh God. And then he'd make a joke at the end, you realise he's being sarcastic. And there'd be this massive relief, but we were all having heart attacks. We were like, he's got this really like dry sense of humour, which is, I normally love, but I was like riding this roller coaster. And I just want to say, I want to take a moment to say, like, none of this would be happening if it wasn't for George Lucas. The guy's a genius.
Fathers in Star Wars films, fathers' identities and their relationships with their children. Mads, we now have confirmation. We now have confirmation that your character, Galen Erso, is Jin's father. What else can you tell us?
That's it. No, honestly, as you know, there's a lot of secrecy around the whole thing for good reasons. And my character is a person of interest. A lot of things are revolving around him. So it would be like kind of a big spoiler to say too much, but can I say that he's a scientist? And he at one point invented something so beautiful, so fantastic that it might change the universe. That's all I can say. And then I can say, I'm in a Star Wars film.
I'm bringing him back to the stage. Please welcome Mr. Ben Mendelsohn. I just had to take advantage of that moment. So. stage.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be back.
And what was that about?
Well, I would love to answer your questions, but I have been in communication with the Emperor, and the sizzle that we started to see earlier is now back on board. So, you can have me solidify, or we can have the sizzle.
Sizzle! Sizzle!
Excellent.
Yeah?
They're going to, yes.
Who wants sizzle?
Sizzle!
Sizzle on.
Sizzle on. Okay, so I've got to ask you, I think we want to know a little bit about Director Krennic, don't we?
Woo!
Ben, what can you tell? Ben? Ben is here.
Oh, yeah. What about?
Do you want to?
Yes, that's quite correct.
So I've heard that Krennic is a different kind of Imperial villain.
Right. Yes, he is. He's an Australian kind. We do villainy very well. He is smarter, I think, than most of his predecessors. He's more inventive. He's perhaps a little sexier than some of them. Not quite as sexy as some of the others.
Oh, darling.
That's all I've got.
Okay, it was enough for me. Didn't you do something to Gareth's assistant?
It's a lot of people to tell that to. I wish him a very happy birthday is what I did, and I believe he had a very, very memorable birthday indeed. I yelled at the boy, yelled at him, but it was under direction from Sir.
Okay, let's just leave that there.
Yes, I think so.
It was cruelty that was invited.
It was necessary.
Okay. I don't think we can talk about Star Wars villains without bringing up one name in particular. We do have confirmation that Darth Vader... Gareth, can you give me a little hint, a tease about Darth Vader being in Rogue One?
I guess I got a very early Christmas present. We finished filming in December, and I got straight on a plane to New York to do a voiceover recording with a gentleman called James Earl Jones. I can't tell you what role he plays in the film, because I don't want to give that away. But what's really funny is I went there with Matt Wood from Skywalker Sound, and we were doing, and we're all being very professional. And the way that ADR works is obviously they've got their back to you, they're watching the screen, and they're doing the lines, and then you turn around and ask if that was okay. So every time you do a line, and I don't want to give anything away, but there was one point where we're all like, yes, hi James, this is great, you're doing really well, this thank you. And then he does this one line where he says the word power. And we just both looked at each other and had this nerdgasm. And we were like reduced to 3-year-olds. And then suddenly he looked back and we suddenly went, that was great, James.
That's amazing. Amazing. Look, thank you, all of you. I'm really excited about this film. I think it looks amazing. I can't wait to get into the cinema and see it. Thank you very much to all of you fans who are in the room, all of you who are at home watching on the live feed. Thank you to our incredible filmmakers. Thank you to our amazing... photo. Yeah, do you want to take a photo of the amazing cast?
Woo!
I think I might actually try and do a selfie. It's a bit newfangled for me. Woo! Can you do that? Is that working? Is everyone, have I got it? There? Is it got it? You've got everyone lean in, everyone lean in. Woo! Yeah, we got it.
Woo!
Okay, one more time. One more time.
Oh, we got forward.
Oh, forward and closer together so you get the goodies. Okay. We go and in, everybody in.
going on.